We must today come together and understand that we need to change the way we look at our fundamental freedoms in our society. What is freedom? What is this idea of freedom? Do we live in a free world? Do we live in a free society? I beg to answer those questions. Today we do not live in a free society. We do not live in a free world. We forgot all our rights as citizens went out the door when war was declared. We have to understand we are not living in a normal time when it comes to government. We have a government right now in Ottawa that uses propaganda against its own citizens, that has robbed the coffers dry, that has removed all notions of human rights and democracy and freedom out of our nation. Fascist government. We have a government today that has starved its people, that has murdered its people, has created a plan that is so dark and so wrong that it requires an intervention of only this type. Today, we as Canadian citizens witness a government that is not for the people, that is not of the people, and does not represent citizens' interests. This is a government of oil and of greed and of filth. This is a government that is more corrupt than any other government in our history. This is a government who steals from its citizens. This is a government who lies to its citizens. Today, we see a government hanging by its last thread. A government desperate to stop any opposition to its dark plan for Canada. Today, I see a Prime Minister who rather kill its citizens than help him. A Prime Minister who's creating a plan to murder our children. A Prime Minister of Canada that is more dark and sinister than any Prime Minister this country has ever seen. That Prime Minister is Stephen Harper. That Prime Minister has killed this city. That Prime Minister is what is killing our world. He is not a majority of Canadians. He is governing as if he was rightly chosen by the Canadian people. He was not. He was not given a majority. In all the elections that he has gone through, he was never given a majority. For the simple reason that he would do exactly this. That he would hide us, those who speak truth. That he would try to murder us, those who seek liberty. That he would try to starve us, those who seek to learn. This Prime Minister has murdered our nation. This Prime Minister has embarrassed us on the international stage. This Prime Minister has damaged the Canadian reputation to its lowest point in our history. 10 years ago, we were the best country on the planet to live in. Rated. I don't know how many years in a row. Today we are not. Today we are far from that advanced culture, that sprawling democracy of freedom and hope. We are not there no more. But we shall return to that glorious Canada we all remember. That Canada of dreamers, that Canada of freedom, that Canada of hope. It is possible, it is here. It is within these words that we find a new Canada, that we find a new spirit, a true North defender of the human spirit, of that spirit always constantly yearning for freedom. The freedom to live in a society where any man, woman, and child can live free. My children, this is about our morals. This is about who we are as a people. This is about what we choose to create for the future. These next few days are the most significant days in human history. For never before will so many leaders converge to try to save Earth. Yet we will find one obstacle in their way. Stephen Harper. In Copenhagen, Stephen Harper chooses to damage the Canadian reputation as being leaders, as being the architect of policy. He will ruin our reputation, and I believe we should, as a people, as government, as members of parliament, as citizens, find a way to ensure that Stephen Harper does not go to Copenhagen. I prefer the international community to find a solution and for us to topple this government. I have no confidence in the government of Canada. I have no confidence in the Prime Minister of Canada. I have no confidence in the Conservative Party of Canada. And in so, I believe he should not go and represent Canada in Copenhagen. I believe our opposition must make it clear that we will not support this government no more. If the NDP chooses to throw their morals out, put them in the filth this conservative pile has dug, then let them. But they should not choose to support this conservative government. The NDP should come and join the Liberal Party. We should create the strongest party in Canadian history. The new Liberal Party of Canada. We must reach out to all Canadians, to the Bloc Québécois. Say this is our time to create a nouveau Québec, une nouvelle Québec. Pardon, mon français est pas très bon, mais on a besoin de créer un Canada quand tout peut prospérer. Where we could all go learn French. Where we can all have as many opportunities as we want and put them before us. I want to live in a world where I can seek knowledge and find it and not be charged for it. And we can create that world. I'm rambling at this point. But I think the whole world needs to start talking at this point. We need to stop Stephen Harper. We need to stop his dark agenda, educate our youth, and create a greener world. Amen. I say to that, brother.